Guys, Utah won a football game. So welcome to the very first Ute victory celebration episode. Sammy, we're 1-2, but we're feeling like we're undefeated.
Yeah, the title of the episode today is Victory Screech because I thought of this morning, all I could think about was that clip from SpongeBob where SpongeBob's like, Victory Screech!
Yeah.
So I thought that was fitting for today because I feel like that's how Utah fans are feeling right now. Even though there's a small handful who are like, this was not a good win. Win is a win, guys.
Win is a win. And when you're 0-2 for the first time in 13 years, that first win feels just so good.
It was so nice. It was stressful, but it was very nice.
Yeah, which honestly I think made it feel even better. Like, it was 30-10, I believe, to start the fourth quarter. But a blowout I would have been as excited, but I think because it was stressful and we came out on top, we felt even better. But
so good. I'm the lack of sleep is now catching up. Is now catching up.
I was at Rice Eccles till like 2 a.m., but no regrets. It was a good day, good weekend. My two favorite teams won, Coastal Carolina, the University of Utah. It's been a good one, but let's go ahead and jump into our first topic of the day. Sammy, what was good for Utah in Saturday's victory?
Well, first of all, I would just like to acknowledge our one of our Beaver hosts, Morgan, who's in the chat, who just said pain. Morgan, we've been feeling that for the last 2 weeks, so now it's our time to shine and not feel pain.
Been there.
We've been there, done that. Pain, book closed, done with it. Okay, what was good? I would just like to start off with the man, the myth, the legend, Ty Jordan. Can we give it up? Can we give a round of applause to the true freshman? The true freshman, just out here making plays. I love this kid. Oh, he's so good. He reminds me so much of Zach Moss. I'm not going to compare him to Zach Moss. I'm not going to say he is Zach Moss because Nick Ford today was like, he is Ty Jordan and Zach Moss is Zach Moss. They are two separate people. And I respect that, Nick. So if you're watching, I saw your tweet. So I just love him. He was so good. He looked fantastic last night, and I really love him. So that was my biggest, what was good. My second is you can't acknowledge the run game that Utah had without also acknowledging the offensive line. The Utah offensive line was making some good holes for him and for Makai and for Devin. They were making these good holes, and the offensive line really stepped up. Like, their pass protection is still kind of sus at times, but other than that, it was really good. The offensive line looked really good. Cole, do you want to jump to yours first, and then we'll come back to me because I have some defense ones that I want to address.
Yeah, so just kind of reiterating, Ty Jordan went off. 27 carries, 167 yards, 1 touchdown. I do like that his teammates are supporting him in the fact that he is creating his own identity. He is Ty Jordan. He's not Zach Moss. But that doesn't mean I can't say he's the second coming of Zach Moss, just in his own way. I cannot wait to see what this kid does moving forward. He's special. I think his football IQ is really, really high. He makes really good reads and then is able to, pick the right gaps and go through those. And he breaks away for big plays. Several times last night, whether it's he's receiving the ball or he's taking out of the backfield, he's finding those lanes and he's going off for 15 to 20 yards every now and again. So this is a great player, and I love that eligibility is frozen, so we could see this kid for maybe an extra year.
I also would like to say about Ty one more thing is he was hitting, he was getting tackled hard, but he was also laying his shoulder down and into people last night, and it was fun to watch. I think he's great. And then his post-game press conference last night was just,
it was a tearjerker.
It was a tearjerker. It was so emotional. I'm so happy for him. He's been through a lot, and just to see how happy he was and how much the team is accepted, the team loves him. I'm not saying that they wouldn't love any running back, but they love him so much. And he got the game ball. Of course he had a great game. Ty Jordan is my Utah freshman player of the year. He is.
Well, I tweeted this last night. If the bookstore sold actual player jerseys, get me a freaking Ty Jordan. I'd be rocking that number 22.
Oh yeah, same. I love him. Okay, sorry, we're gonna digress about Ty Jordan for a second because I know Cole has some things he'd like to address to the people that were good.
Yeah, absolutely. So Britain Covey and Brant Keithy combined for 12 receptions and 130 yards. Polar opposite of the week previously, where they combined for 4, and every single one of those was Brant Keithy. That was one of my keys to victory that I talked about on the crossover show, and I'm glad that we saw it come true because it made a big difference. Covey mentioned in his post-game presser, the coaching staff, that was one of their focuses this previous week in practice was getting that chemistry between him and Bentley, because it's just, you can't have that kind of a weapon and just not use him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened against Washington. It didn't happen last night, and look what happened. They took advantage and they won the football game, and Covey had 2 touchdowns. That's fantastic. The next one, Jake Bentley and the Utah offense didn't have a single turnover. Another key to victory that I had talked about, because you can't, in their first 2 games, 9 turnovers, and I believe 4 or 5 of those were Bentley. You're not going to win football games.
You're not going to.
But I think last night that was one of the biggest reasons they won the game, because the only turnover was against Oregon State. It kept the ball in Utah's hands and out of the Beavers, and that was actually one of the struggles in the fourth quarter, is they couldn't keep the ball out of the Beavers' hands. So it was good that they didn't commit a single turnover and took advantage of when they had the ball, just so that they could score points, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
And my last one, Sammy, before I let you take over, Sac Lake City, I think, is back. There's several candidates, Lloyd, Tafua, Pututau, they all dropped Nolan for a loss, and those were big plays.
Oh, yeah. Sac Lake, I don't think Sac Lake City ever left. Like, Sac Lake City just moved to Dallas. It's still there. It's always there, and it always will be here. But I agree. I think that the defense looked really good. That was one of my other things that was really good, is the defense didn't take. There was a couple of drives that were kind of, which we'll get to, for the Utah defense. First of all, they didn't let their foot off the brake. Like, they were still they're off the gas. I mean, they were going hard the entire time, which was really, really fun to see, because Morgan Scally, I think, took a lot of flack last week because he went conservative with like how he played in the second half against Washington and stuff. But I think the defense looked good. Jake Bentley didn't turn over the ball. Ty Jordan's a beast. We love the offensive line, and we finally won a game.
And
it's been over a year, Cole. It's been over a year since we've won a game, and now we finally did it.
I know. I was thinking that, like, I can't believe it's been over a year since the Utah victory. Might I point out, I was in attendance last night.
Oh yeah, Cole, you made your Rice Eccles press box debut. How was that?
May or may not have had something to do with the fact they won. I'm not going to say that it did, but you never know. But Sammy, to go off one thing that you were talking about there, the defense, I was impressed with the young Utah secondary. I think they did a pretty good job. They held Oregon State for 174 yards in the air. They didn't give up a lot of big plays through the air, besides that last touchdown, which...
How did he catch that? How? Because Devin tipped it.
It touched, I swear it touched 2 Utah.
I know Lloyd tipped it. And then like, I can't remember who were covering him, but didn't, like, one of them, it go through his hands, one of our Utah dudes?
I swear it was like about to be caught by him, and then just went around him and into the hands of that Beaver receiver. And what's funny is I was actually sharing the wall in the press box with the voice of the Utes, Bill Riley, and he lost track of the football. He thought it was incomplete. And then about 5 seconds goes by, and I hear him scream, "Oh my gosh, the Beavers just scored a touchdown." I thought he dropped it, but they're celebrating. And I was like,
I know, from the TV view also, it was kind of the same way. I was like sitting next to my dad, and I was like, did he catch that? Like, because it was I will say that was a great catch given all that happened with that ball. But at the same time, I was like, also one more thing about the second year before we like jump into the next topic is, after Malone was ejected for that targeting call, I was kind of a little worried. I was like, oh God, what's going to happen? But it was really seamless. They slipped Clark over to the nickel position, and they put Fabian on the other corner, and it wasn't correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there wasn't that much of like a drop off. There might have been. There was a little bit of one because Clark plays different than Fabian plays. But at the same time, I think that it was still pretty. It was a pretty good secondary game for the secondary. Vontae had his second interception of the season. There was a couple of pass breakups. So
I don't think that. I mean, obviously, he is a great player, but I don't think that having him not get ejected would have changed the outcome.
Oh, it wouldn't have.
I think they would have played the exact same.